Elbing has to be the most fun boat at tier 8. It's such a bad destroyer, but it's a really good ship. Basically, it's a small cruiser without a citadel. The best part of Elbing? She's free. If you put in the time for the grind, of course. It's currently in the store with a whopping price tag of 1.4 million global XP. So, what's the deal with Elbing, and should you grind your precious life away to get her? Elbing is the love child of a Z-52 and a Stalingrad, with the most ferocious guns on any destroyer in the entire game. She's massive, unmaneuverable, and slow, but the guns are one of a kind. Armor-piercing shells pin as much armor as the French heavy cruiser guns, the shell velocity is insane, and Elbing has the best accuracy of any ship currently in World of Warships. The dispersion is roughly half that of a normal destroyer. She has strong torpedoes too, with good range, but the torps are brutally slow at 50 knots. She has a massive HP pool, of which you're probably going to need since you'll be shooting from open water. No speed boost or sonar, but she has German smoke and DFAA. That's Elbing in a nutshell, and it's all to say that basically she's a super fun gun platform, and that's personally how I would build her. Turret rotation, better acceleration, concealment, better gun range. Eric Bay with everything shoved into gun performance, and the best inspirations, I would say, are Rumble and Sims, but Mordoff, Blue, Violet, and Zenbing could be decent choices as well. So, how do you play Elbing? I know this symbol says Elbing is a destroyer, but you're really not going to be doing normal DD stuff in her. Typical destroyers in World of Warships are A. Gunboats. They fight other DDs and contest caps well. B. Torpedo boats. They sail sneakily around the map, spotting and launching torpedoes. Or C. A hybrid that does a little bit of both of those things at the same time. Elbing is basically bad at all of that. She's a bad gunboat because you cannot fight enemy DDs well, your reload is just too slow, and your HE shells have a low alpha damage. The AP is amazing, but remember the insane velocity and armor penetration? That means your shells are going to overpin enemy DDs. The shell will fly straight through an enemy ship without arming or detonating. To get good damage on enemy destroyers, they need to be angled slightly. You do have 25mm of armor on the sides that shatters normal DD guns, that's good, but you're a massive target, and smart enemy DD captains will simply switch to AP and roast you. Elbing's also not the best torpedo boat. The torpedoes are too slow to consistently score hits. At 50 knots, they're actually the slowest torpedoes at tier 8. That makes them very easy to dodge. She is German, but you might notice a certain consumable missing, so contesting caps in such a big, slow, cumbersome ship without sonar is a death warrant. It's really best to play from farther ranges. So what is Elbing good at? Destroying enemy cruisers, of course. At this, Elbing is terrifyingly good. Hunt for broadside cruisers, that'll be your task, and when you catch them broadside, you can deal catastrophic amounts of damage. The AP shells ricochet less often, they pin tons of armor and deal high amounts of damage, so shoot AP 90% of the time. Like mentioned, the HE shells, they suck. They deal low amounts of damage, they have a low fire chance, and while they do get German quarter pin, it doesn't make up for the low DPM. Only use HE shells when an enemy DD is flat broadside and you keep overpinning, or when an enemy battleship is just bow tanking. I said your main prey is light cruisers. What if they're not on the enemy team? That's okay. I've had plenty of games in a row where there are not many cruisers to shoot at, but Elbing can still hold her own and deal good amounts of damage on larger ships. When shooting battleships, aim for the upper belt and fire away. It's easy to chunk BBs for 5k a salvo. When they go to shoot back, use your prop mod and dodge. Remember, be wary of cap contesting because getting too close to enemy destroyers, especially gunboats, could be a death warrant. Elbing has a high skill floor. There, I said it. A high skill ceiling as well, sure, but it's really an untraditional ship that takes some getting used to and also requires some good support from your team to do well in. One skilled enemy DD captain can make your whole existence in the game pointless, but if they don't and Elbing is left to do Elbing things, she is extremely fun to play and rewarding. Uniqueness is of course one of my favorite attributes in a game that has nearly 400 ships to play, and in that sense, Elbing is truly one of a kind. I give this ship 4 out of 5 stars. She's strong, super rewarding, but has a steep learning curve and limited utility. Again, she is free to earn if you have the free time, so what do you have to lose? Did this video help you out any? Be sure to hit the like button if it did, and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new ships, reviews, or updates. I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.